The Heisman Trophy winner has made his decision. Kyler Murray announced today that he'll be entering his name in the 2019 NFL Draft. And the one thing that sticks out to me from this is a few weeks ago, I made a video about whether or not that the teams that were looking for a quarterback in this offseason, if it was a war for Ohio State quarterback Dwayne Haskins, which was a great video. I mean, it was a very popular video on the channel, which I appreciate everyone that took time to watch that video. But now I feel like maybe that video almost feels like a waste of time now that Kyler Murray has now put himself into the equation. Because Kyler Murray is one of those quarterbacks that you think is either going to succeed or he's going to fail completely. There's really no in between. There's no Kyler Murray's going to have a few outlier seasons and then he'll have some bad seasons. A player like Kyler Murray, you anticipate that he's either going to be one of the greatest of all time or he's just going to completely fail and he's going to completely fall under the pressure of the NFL. But there is some positive traits to Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray, he ran the offense at Oklahoma better than Baker Mayfield, in my opinion. However, Kyler Murray's got to find the right system. I mean, Baker Mayfield has found the right system right now in Cleveland with Freddie Kitchens. And that's something to keep an eye on next season, is how Baker Mayfield and Freddie Kitchens will work together. But that is something else another day. But right now we got to focus on Kyler Murray deciding to go to the NFL instead of not playing baseball for the Athletics. Now there are two reasons why I think Kyler Murray decided to take the NFL route. One is kind of the obvious one, because he didn't get that $50 million that he was wanting, because there was a report that came out around last night, about maybe late afternoon, early evening, that Kyler Murray was looking for a $15 million contract by the Athletics, or he was going to declare for the NFL draft. And that's the first reason why that Kyler Murray decided to opt out of baseball and choose the NFL route. The second reason, which I think is the most logical reason for Kyler Murray, I think winning that Heisman Trophy and making it to the semifinals of the college football playoff, making that college football playoff, winning a conference championship, winning a Heisman Trophy, with just one season under his belt as a starter from start to finish, I think he maybe wants to be the next Cam Newton that gets drafted number one overall, or the top quarterback taken, have an MVP type season, maybe play in a Super Bowl here and there, which Cam Newton's only played in one Super Bowl so far. But Kyler Murray reminds me of Cam Newton a lot. And I think Kyler Murray, I think he's a very underrated athlete, even though some people think that Kyler Murray is extremely overrated and he's only good because he came from Oklahoma. I can understand your reasoning for that. I can understand why you think that, but I think Kyler Murray, I think with the right system, with the right coaching staff, with the right supporting cast around him, I think Kyler Murray can succeed in the NFL. And there are two talented quarterbacks right now that have put their names in the NFL draft for sure, even though Daniel Jones is declared as well and Drew Lock's already there. But the two that stick out to me are Kyler Murray and Dwayne Haskins. So I also want to lead into the other reason why I think that Kyler Murray, I didn't really finish my statement, but I got off track. But I think Kyler Murray decided to take the NFL route because I think he wants to have an impact on a professional sports franchise or professional sports altogether. And I think maybe he wanted to be in the NFL because he knows that he can play right away. But knowing that if he was going to play baseball, he was going to choose the Athletics, he would have to start off in the minor leagues and then work his way up. Maybe there is that one where Kyler Murray has a chip on his shoulder. Maybe he doesn't have that patience or the drive to maybe work his way up to things. Because as a Texas A&M follower, Kyler Murray recruited there. He signed there. He verbally committed there, but then decided to transfer after his freshman season because he wasn't happy with the coaching staff around him. He was the backup quarterback to Kyle Allen, who's now on the pretty much the third string quarterback for the Carolina Panthers right now. And I think he wanted to go somewhere where he can make an impact. And Kyler Murray did make an impact. So there are some positive traits and some negative traits to if that was the reason. Because the positive is you can go out there and make an impact for a professional sports franchise, whether that's football or baseball. And football was probably the better probability of him making an impact on professional sports and a franchise. But the negative effects, Kyler Murray may overwhelm him a little bit because the NFL is a much different breed than college football. But like I said, the right coaching staff, the right system, and the right supporting cast, those three things. If Kyler Murray has those three things, I think Kyler Murray can be an exceptional athlete in the NFL. So as far as which teams can draft him, this one thing sticks out to me is Kliff Kingsbury said that if he had the number one pick, he said this back in November, that if he had the number one overall pick in the NFL draft, he would take Kyler Murray number one. Well, now that the Arizona Cardinals are the number one pick, Kliff Kingsbury is now the coach. He has an opportunity to take Kyler Murray with the number one overall pick. So right now, it's either put up or shut up for Kliff Kingsbury. Whether or not he does it or not, I still think it's a possibility that Kliff Kingsbury, he wants Kyler Murray. Because the reason why I think this is because Kyler Murray reminds Kliff Kingsbury of... Well, Kliff Kingsbury is reminded of Kyler Murray with Johnny Manziel type athletic abilities. And I think that is exactly why he wants someone like Kyler Murray. Because Johnny Manziel was the quarterback that really got... He was the athlete that really got Kliff Kingsbury on the market for coaching. And Kliff Kingsbury, he had Pat Mahomes work with in Texas Tech. I mean, Pat Mahomes did pretty decently, but just couldn't win games. And he also had a good season at Texas Tech to begin the season. Started off, I believe it was 5-1 or 5-2. But then they went on a losing streak to end the season, and they didn't make a bowl game. So, the reason why I think this is because Kyler Murray is more of Kliff Kingsbury's coaching abilities. That's the one reason why I think Kliff Kingsbury made that statement. And I think right now, I feel like Josh Rosen may end up getting traded to a team that's looking for a quarterback in this offseason, whether it's maybe Jacksonville, or maybe he may get traded to the Giants, or he may get traded to maybe the Broncos or even the Dolphins. I see Josh Rosen not being on the Cardinals in 2019. I know it's kind of a bold statement to make, but based off those comments that Kliff Kingsbury made in the past, that he made not too long ago, if I recall, that was back in November he made that kind of statement. He said if he had the number one overall pick, a chance to take Kyler Murray, he would take him at number one. And now that Kyler Murray has put his name in the NFL draft pool, the Cardinals, the number one overall pick, Kliff Kingsbury, this is his franchise now to work with. He's got the chance to take Kyler Murray at number one, and I think he's going to do it. I think Josh Rosen, I think he gets dealt to someone that's looking for a quarterback. The two teams that are sticking out to me so far are Jacksonville and Miami. I think those two. I think Rosen's getting traded to one of those two teams before the NFL draft. That's kind of a bold prediction, but I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to say Josh Rosen gets traded to Jacksonville or to Miami. And then Kyler Murray is taking number one overall. That is my bold prediction. So tell me your thoughts on this, because there was a huge decision that Kyler Murray had to decide between baseball or football, and it was definitely a hard decision for him, especially after losing the college football playoff semifinal to Alabama. Maybe he could have come back for one more season, which I thought that maybe he could have come back for another season, because Oklahoma's quarterback Austin Kendall, he put himself in the transfer portal. So that right there, it could have made everyone think that possibly that either two things. One, Kyler Murray was going to come back for his senior season and try to win that national championship that he desired and that he has the drive to want. Or two, that another quarterback that's in the transfer portal, like Tate Martell or Jalen Hurts, was going to land in Oklahoma. So it could have been one of those two things. I mean, it most likely was, but we'll never know unless something gets said. So comment your thoughts on the situation. I'm very interested to hear what you guys think. Also, do you think Kliff Kingsbury is going to be a man of his word, and he's going to prove that by taking Kyler Murray number one? I think he will, but it's a matter of time until we find out. So until then, I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day.